I'm going to be honest. This patch screams one thing to me. There is one thing that this patch screams to me. This patch, in my eyes, I look at this and I think CompToUs buffed units for all of the content creators except for me. Seishizo got a Seimei buff. Stoic got his Oliver buff and the Cigar buff. Weird champ. On the plus side, the balance patch I think is actually pretty good. I think there's a pretty good balance patch here. I'm very happy with how things have turned out. So top 5 I think that got adjusted. Top 5 best changes. Nerf to Wusa is number 1. Nerf to Wusa is by far the best thing in the game. The second best thing I think is the changes to Oliver. So Oliver now has 2-turn cooldown reset, 100% attack bar pushback that absorbs, and he now has a 33% arena speed lead. So he's actually busted. So he's number 2. Number 3, I think, is probably Triton, because transfer debuff skill 1 is 2 turns now, or is 2 harmful effects instead of 1. So you can transfer bomb and dot now if, you know, Sierra's on the team. And also gets 15% increased pushback, or 10% increased pushback on his skill 3. I think those things are amazing. Those are top 3 for me. I think number 4 is probably... I think number 4 is probably Cigar. So Cigar, or the Wind M. Bison, Wind Slayer, they added an additional effect to it where after it strips and AoE pushbacks resets, it also provokes. So it's similar to the what are they called? Not Beast Monks. Similar to the Druids. Is that what they're called? Druids? Tyrannus? Druid? Yes? Question mark? I think so, right? Damn, I just lost my mind. Completely lost my mind there for a second. Okay. And then the last change that I think is really significant, number 5 change is probably... Man, I really want to say it's Susano, but... If we're talking about RTA... Number 5 for RTA... I mean, if you're Fados, it's Arnold getting a free, getting extortion buff. I think, you know, resetting extortion cooldown is pretty cool. Oh, actually, you don't even need to kill. It just resets when someone dies. That's pretty busted. I think the number 5 buff is actually probably to threat state. I think number 5 buff is threat state change because it actually makes Mookwool not garbage, and it makes Ophelia better too. So the thing is, it's good and bad in some ways, right? Because you can still use AoE skills and do AoE effects. However, you don't break the threat state. That's the difference. So yeah, I guess, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. I think the YouTube comment section will let me know what they think about the balance patch for sure. But I think those are my top 5. But yeah, overall, nerf to Wusa and nerf to Wusa and Nigong, great. Buff to Light, or nerf to Light Monkey King, also great. Actually, that might be number 5. Nerf to Light Monkey King might be number 5 or number 4 for me. Those are pretty good. Nerfs to really OP units are so good. Ifrit changes are great. Myoji change hopefully is good. Water Hell Lady change is no different in my opinion. Sea Emperor's change is great. Lightning Emperor change for wind is good for offense. Water Monkey King for water change is good for siege and RTA. Dark Monkey King is probably not that different. Dark Anubis, maybe a little bit better for cleave or turn 2, but probably not that significant. Fire Ryu change is good. It's an added effect to make him a little more effective. Light Ryu getting a little bit more damage. Probably not that significant. Wind Bison, big change. Very good. Sky Surfers getting an increase on their skill 2 for the cooldown reset and absorb is better. Oliver gets a big change for his skill 3 and his awakening, which makes him great. The light one, don't think it's super good, but maybe it'll work in some cases now with a higher decreased attack bar. Dark one should be a lot easier to understand the passive, and overall should make more sense and be an easier unit to use. I think the changes to paladins are great because they the wind and water one really needed some buffs there. So the wind one gets proportional HP scaling, so you don't no longer need like speed crit damage attack Louise if you want to do damage. And then the water one getting an increased stun chance is really nice because that's like her whole shtick, right? The Berserk change to Barbaric Kings, I think it's okay. You do a lot more damage, but you lose some HP, so maybe building them a little tankier now instead of like the bruisery more damage side that I had them before would be better. Skydancer changes I think are good. Attack buff on the Fire Skydancer is good. The Awakening for the Dark Skydancer I think is better this way. Changing it from max HP to a caster's attack power means you can actually run her as a damage dealer. All the Death Knight effect adds are pretty good. I know Fadas will be super happy about the Extortion buff to Arnold. String Masters are really good. I think not being immune to inability effects while playing a song is really good because then they're actual counters. And the Ninja changes I think are phenomenal. I really like the Ninja changes to Susano. And then I'm interested to see whether or not the Light Ninja does well. They definitely have a text error here. It says, blows up a ray of light to inflict damage 2 times to all enemies. The first one removes 1 harmful effect. I believe that's supposed to be 1 beneficial effect from each enemy, and then it glances. Changes to Cannon Girls. I think overall they're better, but they're not significant enough to make a difference. And then the threat change is huge. So not being able to break down threat state while AoEing is really good. You can still AoE and you'll still do AoE damage and other such. However, you won't be able to break the reduction or the threat state buff itself, which means you can't single target down another monster. And threat state also gives you reduced damage taken. So that's kind of nice to have. Like I said earlier with Oliver, the change to the leader skill to be 33% attack speed I think is amazing. And then the changes for Fire Skydancer to be an attack lead in guild content is actually pretty nice. 33% attack lead for that makes it a better Lucian Cleave lead. And potentially other things. Yeah, overall, good balance patch. I'm happy about that. Very happy about that. Nice! Fuck yeah, we're done. Rune event done, completed. Pog. Alright guys, I'll be right back. How's the day? Well, it'll depend on how well this rune rolls.
You never see it coming.
What? What the fuck?
Step and do that. Why just to be the second I go with the sky, but now lightning's that careless result. It's not an accident that no one hears you cry at your last dream seems to desert. You never see it coming. You see that my mind is the best for eyes. You're done.
Oh my, what the? Wait. 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 It's actually good? I thought you were trolling me. What the fuck? Guys, we did it. I took the best possible gamble I could take, and I actually got it.